Here are the homework solutions for homework number 1, starting with exercise 1. So for this one, you had to print out 4 lines of text with, oh, what a happy day. Oh, yes, what a happy day. So starting with the first line, we need a preprocessor, which is going to be IO stream. If we're going to be outputting information into the console, that's the first thing that we should be doing, right? Because we're going to need that for the cout object. So going into the main function, we have cout and the insertion operator to add to the stream. And then we have what, so we're putting in a string, we're adding it to it. And then we add the nl to let the program know that we're not outputting anything else to the stream, and we end that statement. So with nl, that's what allows us to start that new line. We go again, cout, happy day, and then nl to end that line, and then so on and so forth. Exercise number 2 is about spotting the errors. So we had here the comment, the multi-line comment was done incorrectly. So we started this way and we close it this way. If you don't close it, you'll comment everything out, all the other lines. And I think we had it backwards basically, so it wasn't opening it correctly. We were using the incorrect module name, and we were forgetting to use namespace. So the compiler needs to know which namespace we're using. We have to make sure that we specify the arguments bit here for the function, starting with the opening parenthesis and the closing. So even if we have no arguments to declare, we still have to have this in our function. That is just the body of the function, or the structure. So then in here, we have our actual code. So let's see what's wrong here. This statement was not finished correctly. We had a quotation mark, and without a quotation mark, then the compiler doesn't know that that statement has ended. Okay. For the next one, we had these arrows facing to the right, which actually makes it the extraction symbol, or the extraction operator. And it's for extracting data, so for entering data into the stream, rather than just outputting it, so displaying it essentially. So we need to make sure it's facing to the left if we're going to be using it with cout. This bit here was encapsulated in a string, so we had quotation marks on both sides, and that's a problem, because then it's just going to try to add it to the output stream as a string rather than actually reading that it's the end line, right? Here we had single quotation marks, which is not how you build this string. You have to use just the double quotation marks. And then in here, we had a full stop rather than a semicolon. And finally, this was a parenthesis rather than a bracket. Needs to match basically what's up here. Now for exercise 3, let me take you to the editor so I can show you what that looks like. So here we are, we have our code, and I want to make sure that you understand why we're getting that result, basically. And the reason we're getting that result is because you have the main function, which starts with dear reader, have a, and then you go into the pause function. Now the pause function is what adds in the break. And then you have it goes back, and you have the exclamation mark, right? So if we were to change this to, let's say, pause, and we run that again, it actually changes the break. So we're getting this bit coming from the main function, and then this bit coming from the pause function, and then followed by the exclamation mark.